Hello everyone, I hope you are well. I'm going to do a Friday reads. I think this is my first Friday reads of 2020. I've done loads of Friday reads over the years, but in 2020 I don't think I've done any, and I just use my Friday reads to say what my plans are going to be over the weekend, what I'm going to be reading, and any thoughts and feelings, and it's just a random chat. I'm also drinking from a Christmas mug, and I know it's June, but I cannot wait for Christmas. I cannot wait for this year to just skip right to autumn when we've got the lovely crunchy leaves, then I can put up my Christmas tree. That's it. I want to skip to Halloween. I want to skip to like September, so in September I can plan for my October, get out all my decorations and everything, and then have Christmas. Then I'm done. I'm ready to throw the year away. I'm literally wishing my life away right now. I'm just going to sip my coffee. But it is in a 12 days of Christmas mug because I cannot wait for Christmas. I just think being cooped up, it just reminds you of the Christmas period, and so you think, oh, I want to put my Christmas tree up because you're inside, you may be eating more than usual in lockdown like Christmas time. It just feels really Christmassy, and I feel like we're not going to have a proper summer because there's going to be restrictions on certain things. So can we just have Christmas now? This weekend I'm not going to be doing anything. So the UK is kind of coming out of lockdown. The UK is different. So I live in England, and in England some schools are open, not all schools are open, some shops are open, not all shops are open. A lot of the pubs around us are actually open, and you can buy a pint and drink the pint outside the pub if you want, and a lot more people are meeting up in parks with people outside their households and having barbecues, and the beaches are absolutely packed. But me and Dom are still in our own kind of lockdown. Dom doesn't have to go to back to work yet, so he's still working from home. And I don't really trust what the government's saying. I don't really trust that 2 weeks ago we were in absolute peril. We have the worst death rates of Europe, and then now all of a sudden we're fine. We're out of the woods. Everything's okay. I just don't really trust that everything is okay, and I just worry. I worry that I'm going to get it. I worry that it's going to mutate to something else, and then I'm going to get it and I'm going to pass it on. Me and Dom haven't seen our family in such a long time, and that is because we both have elderly relatives. And we have, I feel like this is such like, I'm stumbling over my words because I'm like, I've got so much to tell you, like a little gossip sesh. But we both have elderly relatives, and we both also have people in our family who are going through treatments at the moment. So we don't want to catch this, or the virus to mutate into something else and we catch this other thing and then pass it on to someone, because that literally would be life and death for some people in our families. So that's why we haven't been back to Essex. We probably can drive back to Essex at this point. People are making stops all over the place. I mean, if Dominic Cummings can do it, I'm sure anyone can do it. But we are not driving back to see our family because we are just waiting it out for as long as we can. For as long as Don can work from home, there's no talk of him going back to his office at the moment. So as long as he can stay at home, we're just waiting it out, and we are not going to beaches or with other people. We are going places where people aren't. We're in graveyards. I mean, I've got like a vlog coming out where we go to a graveyard for a walk around an old graveyard, not a new graveyard. We're just walking around places where other people aren't, enjoying scenery, enjoying the outside, but not too much where there is other people present. So that's why we haven't been back to see our family, is because we don't want to have anything and then pass it on to them in any kind of way. So this weekend I'm just going to be staying in. I'm going to be doing some crafting. I really got into painting. I'm going to put some clips up. I'll film some of my painting that I've been doing. I'm just doing it for fun, okay? So please don't judge. Some of my paintings do look like something a psychiatrist would be worried about. I'll be totally honest there. They look absolutely insane, but I'm free flowing. My artisticness, I'm free flowing how I'm feeling, and I'm loving it. I got some cheap paints from a charity shop before lockdown. I just saw them in there and I was like, oh, I'll nab them, because whenever I see craft things like cross stitch stuff or knitting wool in a charity shop, I always pick it up because it's so much cheaper in a charity shop than buying it brand new. And you're like giving something a second life as well. And so I got those paints just in case I wanted to do anything. In autumn, that's when I really get my craft on. I feel like something's touching me, but it's not. You know, like if you've got long hair like me, it's touching my bookshelves, and I thought something was touching me. but it's not, there's no ghosts. But in autumn I really like to do loads of different crafts and like paint little pumpkins on stuff, and so that's why I got the paint. But I've been using it so much in lockdown. I am so glad that I got it so that I can do my painting. So I have just been doing painting. Before that I was really obsessed with doing knitting, and I was doing loads of knitting. Before that it was jewellery making. You know me, I'm always doing some kind of craft. I'm always crafting in some kind of way. And can I just say one thing, is that in my vlogs, whenever I show crafting things, people say stuff like, oh, I wish I had the time to just sit around and craft. Oh, if only I had the time. If only I wasn't so busy with my important life, and I had a life like yours, Hannah, which is unimportant, and I could just sit around and do a bit of useless knitting. Like, people are always really passive aggressive about whenever I show crafting things. They're like, I wish I could do that, but I'm so busy and I'm so important with things that I don't have the time to do that. I think people do have the time to craft, they just choose not to. So those same people that are like, I literally don't have the time to craft, you'll go onto their Twitter accounts and they would have just like Netflixed the latest Netflix series they would have binged, and that's like 6 hours. And so you're like, you had 6 hours to watch a Netflix documentary, yet you couldn't do a bit of crafting. Like, you could have had, out of those 6 hours, you could have done 1 hour reading, 3 hours painting, you got 2 hours to do whatever you want with a bit of knitting, a bit of cross stitch, whatever you want to do. And you can go into charity shops and get stuff. Online you can get really cheap crafting kits, or if you've got like a pen and a piece of paper, that's all you really need. You can start drawing. It just rattles my cage, to be honest with you, when people say stuff like that, when they're like, I wish I could craft, I wish I had the time to craft, but I'm rushed off my feet. And I think it is, there's a little bit of like a spite in it as well, like what you're doing is like some little unimportant craft. It's the way they say it, okay? It's the way they say it. They just say it in like a little, I wish I had the time to just sit around, laze around. Oh my god, that gets me. I wish I had the time to laze around like you do and read. And it's like, you're choosing to do other stuff with your time, which is totally fine, but I don't do those things. For example, before lockdown, I don't go to the pub, I don't go to the cinema, I don't watch TV. I could spend all day watching Judge Judy. If I'm perfectly honest with you, I am the kind of person that can get like sucked into TV very easily. I could watch Judge Judy in the evenings, I could watch Murder, She Wrote, Keeping Up Appearances, Poirot, Miss Marple, Morse, Inspector Morse. I don't know why I just said like Morse, like it was like, oh, what a tragedy to Morse. Inspector Morse, not Lewis, not into it at all. Prime Suspect, Silent Witness, only the original Silent Witnesses though, with the Scottish women in, not the new ones, don't care for them. There's so many TV series that I love that I could just watch. I could just spend my time watching, but instead I choose that time to do painting, to do some kind of crafting. So I do think you have to find time for your hobbies, find time for your passions and outlets and things, but sometimes people just don't choose to do that, and that's totally fine. If you, after you finish work, are like, I don't want to do any crafting, I just want to sit in front of the TV and then go to bed, that's totally your choice to do that, and that's fine, and that might help you unwind, or it might help you feel refreshed. But for me personally, I don't watch TV. I will watch one episode of a series. So if Dom's got like a series he wants to watch on TV, we'll watch that, like one episode of it, or one episode of Poirot, or whatever it is, just one episode, and then that's it. Because I feel if I watch a lot of TV, I feel very drained, I feel very down, I feel a bit anxious. I don't know what it is, I just can't watch loads of TV, and so it just gets to me when people try and make out that like crafting people are really lazy and that we just have all this time that no one else has and we just magically have all this time. And it's like, no, whilst you've been binge watching the Netflix series or been going to the pub with your friends like before lockdown and everything, we are introverts. Introverts, like we've been staying in. We're not going to the pub with our friends. We've been knitting some new gloves for ourselves. We've been doing a painting of an octopus, like we've been doing our own thing. People find the time, and stuff like, especially women, when they have beauty routines, and it's like you spent 3 hours at the hairdresser's getting your hair dyed when you could have spent those 3 hours painting. but that's your choice and that's perfectly fine. You can get your hair dyed, but that's where you're choosing to put your time. Like, people act like things within their life aren't a choice, and they are a choice, and it's your choice to go to the pub and get drunk and then the next day be so hungover that you don't want to do anything the next day. That's your choice. I don't do that. I don't drink and I don't get drunk and I don't like going to the pub. And that's choices. We all have don't. It just gets me. Oh my god, I didn't think I was going to rant like this, but it just gets to me when people make out that like crafting people have all this time that no one else has and that's the only reason we can do what we're doing. But really we just choose how we spend our time, and we don't do the usual things that a lot of people do, like watching TV in the evening. We'd rather be doing something more creative in the evening. But it's totally fine if you want to watch TV, just don't be passive aggressive in the comments. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir though, because everyone that's going to be watching this right now is going to be like, yes, me too. I hate it when a family member says that, or thinks that because I'm like painting or something that I'm not doing anything. Like, oh, she's just doing painting, okay, she's free to help me with this other thing. And you might be like, no, I'm not free to help you with this other thing because I'm actually doing something. I've chosen to do this painting and do this. Anyway, I'm going to be doing painting. I love how that just went into a full rant. I am going to be doing some painting, I'm going to be doing a little bit of reading, and then I'm going to be doing loads of video editing. So that's my, let me take a sip away from my rant for a sec. That's what I'm going to be doing. The book that I'm going to be reading, I'll show you. This is Marley's Ghost by David Levithan, and I know David Levithan is a really popular YA author, and I just saw this book in a charity shop and it sounded really interesting to me. And it's based around A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, but instead of having Scrooge as an older man, Scrooge is a 16-year-old boy, and instead of it being set around Christmas, it's set around Valentine's Day. And the 16-year-old boy, his girlfriend has died of cancer and he hates love. He's bar humbug to love. He doesn't want anything to do with it, and then 3 ghosts visit him, ghosts of like present day love, past love and future love visit him to tell him that he should open his heart again. And Marley visits him and she says, I want you to open your heart again to love so I can move on. So there is a Marley in Charles Dickens who is Scrooge's business partner, and Marley comes to Scrooge and says, I can't pass on, I've got all these chains of this world and I can't move on because you're all grumpy. And in this, Marley the girl is saying, I can't move on because you won't love anyone else and you won't accept love and you've become really stuck in your own ways and everything, and I need you to move on from this. Really emotional. I've already cried. I mean, I'm on page 96. How many pages are of this book? There's 165 and I have cried I think about twice. It's really emotional and it's really got into their relationship and her dying of cancer. And I think I'm crying because not so much for the boy, even though I do feel sorry for him that his girlfriend's died of cancer, but I'm just like, oh, it's just so awful that people so young die of cancer, because it's bad enough when someone older gets it, but then when someone who's 16 gets it, you just think, oh my god, that person's family and everything, and it makes you feel so lucky about your own health and being alive. And so I was crying about that, and then also now I'm more like crying about him and how he feels. It's such a great book. There is also illustrations in it, not on every single page, it's very sporadic, the illustrations, but they are gorgeous pencil sketches. They are really stunning, really detailed. Really enjoying this book so far. Absolutely beautiful. My editing plans, so this weekend I'm going to finish off that book and then I'm just going to edit like crazy because I have filmed so many videos, and recently about 60% of everything I film I put up on YouTube and 40% I just throw in the bin. I'm just absolutely done with it. So these videos that I have filmed, not all of them might make them onto the channel because sometimes I edit them and I'm like, they're not good enough, I don't want to put them on the channel. So I have read A Little Princess. I have been reading that book like mad. I think I have 2 different videos to put up of me reading A Little Princess in 2 different like sections of the book. I have a knitted floral garland. I said I was going to be doing that on the channel. I have filmed the whole thing of me making a knitted floral garland. I just need to edit it all together. I have another knitting video, how to add wool to your project. I have how to be more eco-friendly, because that's been something that I've really been working towards. I was going to make an eco-friendly video about a month ago, and then I was like, no, let me put my eco-friendly changes into practice, and then I'll make a video talking about eco-friendly changes, because I didn't want to make a video and be like, oh, I'm going to be doing this, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. I wanted to make sure that it was something that was sustainable, that I could do. And it is. So that eco-friendly video I need to edit. I've also been doing a really long vlog. So instead of doing short reading vlogs, I think I'm just going to do really long vlogs of my life and various things, but not day in the lives, because I'm not interesting enough for day in the lives. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't have enough in a day that I think is going to interest you to put into a vlog. So I'm just, whenever I pick up a book or I go out somewhere or I want to talk about something about my life and do like a life update, I'm going to be putting them in these long vlogs, which are going to be various clips over like a period of a few weeks. So I have one of them that I'm still filming, I'm still working on at the moment. I went to France at the beginning of the year and I did a reading vlog that I need to upload. That's already like edited and everything. And I think that might be it. I've done a few day in the lives in lockdown, but they're really not interesting, and I've already put up a day in the life of me being in lockdown, and I think they're the same as that, to be perfectly honest with you. They're just repeats of that video, so it's not that interesting, so I'm not going to put those up on my YouTube. I might put them up on my Patreon. I'll ask my patrons if they're interested in those kind of videos or not, and if they are, then I will put that up on the Patreon. Oh, I'm also doing, I can't believe I forgot, I'm also doing author spotlights again. So I used to do videos where I've done a full video on Alice Walker. So Alice Walker is one of my favourite authors. I have read from her poems, Living by the Word, The Colour Purple, and now It's a Time to Open Your Heart. And I did a video on Revolutionary Petunias, which is a poetry collection. I did a video where I just spoke about all the books from her, all the works from her that I had read, and why I like her work, and going into each one. I also have done one on Tracy Chevalier, I believe, and Jodi Picoult, and I have filmed one now on Edith Holden. So I have a book by Edith Holden, I have a children's book that she illustrated, and then I have a book that is about Edith Holden's life that I have filmed that full video. I just need to edit that together, and I need to film some close-up shots of the book, and I think that might be it. But that's like quite a lot of videos that I need to get editing, and then I want to sort out my video that I'm filming, like of my month of those clips. I want to edit that together as well. I don't know if this is boring, me talking about what videos I'm going to be uploading what in a video to you. Are you just like, just get on and do it? Like, stop saying you're gonna bring all these videos to us, Hannah. Just get on with it. Like, how do you just feel like that? Because I feel recently I've just been so like, oh, I've got all these videos to like edit, I'll be putting them up soon. Oh, a little princess, I'll be putting them up soon, and my knitting tutorials. You just like, do it. Like, get it done. Sorry, I'm screaming. I always get like hysterical at the end of these Friday Reads videos. So before I get too hysterical, I'm gonna get it done this weekend. I'm gonna edit it, and then next week, but I'm gonna make a promise to you right now that next week I'm gonna upload 3 videos. 3 videos next week, because I have so much that I filmed. So I'm gonna edit 3 videos this weekend, and then next week, so this like coming week, like Monday, I will put up 3 videos throughout the week. That is my promise to you. Let's like shake hands on it. Okay, it's a promise. I've shook hands. I'm definitely gonna do it, and just bloody do it, Hannah. Oh God. So I'm gonna drink out my Christmas mug. I'm gonna crack out the tree. I said to Dom, should we put up the Christmas tree? And he's like, no, and I was a bit hurt, because I was like, oh, we could just put up like a few Christmas decorations, like, you know, the foil that you hang like that, and it's all pretty, and you hang it along your ceiling and stuff. I was like, maybe just like a bit of foil, a bit of stuff, and he was like, no, like, let's not do it. And I was a bit like, ugh. I think if I lived by myself I probably would just put it up, but then when it got to Christmas it wouldn't be as special, I suppose, because I'd already put the stuff up. I might sneak it up, like you might see in the next like vlog that I do, you might see me being like, I'm just gonna put some stuff up and I'm not gonna tell Tom, and I'm just gonna put up my mini tree and then just be like sneaking out ornaments. Can't wait, cannot wait for Christmas. The summer, let's skip past it. I don't believe that this has gone from the UK and everything's fine, so me and Dom are still in our own lockdown. Even though a lot of people around us are coming out of their lockdown, I am still incredibly cautious, so we are still in our own little lockdown. So I'm just going to stay in, do loads of editing this weekend, like message me, tell me on Instagram, be like, just get it done, and I will. And then next week we'll have 3 videos up. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you very much for watching my Friday reads. Do you like my little intro? It's like with a cup of tea. Do you like that or not? Are you getting a bit sick of it? I don't know. I feel like it made my channel look a bit more uniform, that each video has like a you know, like, do you know, even know what I'm talking about, the introduction of the video where I filmed it on my window and there's a cup of tea and then it says Hannah Shane. It's like exactly like that, obviously. It's like it's supposed to be calming, but it's not, because when I'm editing I'm always like, oh, I don't know if it works, because it's like this lovely scene, and then I'm like, hiya, just starting off the video so loud. I have no volume control. Gonna end it here. Have a great weekend. I'm gonna edit videos. It's gonna be 3 videos up next week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. I'll put up a video on Monday, it's a promise. I shall see you on Monday. Feel free to subscribe. If you're new here, come in, sit down, take a seat, enjoy the view of the books, not me. I was like, enjoy the view. Don't. Oh my god, welcome to my world. Oh, cringe. Oh, when people say that and you go into their house. I've only had that once, when I went into someone's house and they were like, welcome to my world, and I was like, it was too much. Anyway, gonna end it here, and I'll see you on Monday for a new video. Bye.